In this video, I'll describe how to visit Russia as a tourist during sanctions, what you will need to enter Russia and the process of entering Russia, how to get around St. Petersburg if you only speak English, how Westerners are treated in Russia during these sanctions, what you should know about St. Petersburg to get along with the locals, the major sites in St. Petersburg including the largest museum in the world. So please stay tuned to my video. Please remember to post a like, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you can always get my latest travel videos. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm flying to a forbidden country. And that country is Russia. I'm going to be going to St. Petersburg, Russia. And I'm going to show you the journey as I get there. Now the first step to getting to St. Petersburg, Russia is to fly to a country, or fly out of a country rather, that does not have sanctions against Russia. And in our world, the only two countries in all of Europe that don't have sanctions against Russia is Belarus and Turkey. So I'm at Istanbul airport because if I want to get to Belarus, I still have to go through Turkey to get to Belarus. So I'm at Istanbul airport, and the only airline you can take to get to Russia from Turkey, if you're a Westerner, is Turkish Airlines, because your credit card will not work on any other airlines that is European, that is the Russian airlines, to get to Russia. I do have a video called how to get to Russia during sanctions. It's one of my videos, so I recommend you check that out. This is my second trip to Russia. Now to get to Russia, you need three things. First, you need a Russian visa. You can get that by contacting your local Russian consulate. I contacted mine, and they directed me to a passport agency that was very, very efficient, and they gave me a visa in less than 2 weeks. So that's an easy thing. The second thing you're going to need is Russian cash. Looks like this. You cannot buy Russian cash anywhere in any Western country because of our sanctions. You can't buy Russian cash in the USA, you can't buy it in Great Britain, you can't buy it in Europe, any EU country. However, you can buy it in Istanbul, Turkey. They'll sell it to you. It's not a great conversion rate. However, you do need Russian cash when you land because you're going to have to get a taxi to get to your hotel. So I got mine here at the Istanbul airport. It wasn't a great rate, as I said, but you're going to need it because your credit card will not work once you enter Russia. The third thing is kind of an option, but you do need a travel voucher, and it's a printed form, and they have these. It's like this. It's authorized by the Russian government, and they give it to you when they give you your visa. And you're going to need that. However, they never check it. At least the last time I went through, they didn't check it. They just checked the visa. And of course, you're going to need a valid passport. And your passport must be valid for at least 6 months once you enter Russia. That's it. Istanbul Airport is an ultra-modern and extremely busy airport, but it's also very efficient. If you're flying through Istanbul and you're traveling internationally like I am today when I'm going to Russia, I recommend you come here 2.5 hours before your scheduled departure. There's quite a bit of process to get through. I arrived here at 5:30 in the morning, and on a Tuesday morning, and the airport is packed, absolutely packed with people, and there's several queues to go through in order to get to the boarding area where I am now. So I'm on a Turkish Airlines flight to St. Petersburg, Russia, and I'll keep you posted, and please follow along. So I just cleared Russian immigration. I'm here in St. Petersburg, Russia. The process was mild. It's not as scary as you would imagine. They didn't ask for the tourist voucher. They just wanted to know where I was staying, my hotel reservation, and that's it. Now I got to try to find currency exchange, and then I'm going to take a taxi. So This is the baggage claim area of St. Petersburg Airport. Welcome to St. Petersburg in English. See? Most signs here are in English. Duty-free St. Petersburg. That's the currency exchange. So they gave me a much better rate than they would in Istanbul, which is typical. It's Russia, so they don't have to convert it twice to get the conversion. So you get a good rate here.
We are currently entering into the top right.
Okay. My taxi ride from St. Petersburg Airport to my hotel was with a driver who understood and spoke English. I was surprised. Also, what surprised me was all of my ride was on modern expressways and roads. I never saw a bad neighborhood along the way, and there were no traffic jams. Welcome to St. Petersburg. That's my hotel. That's the entrance to the metro. That building over there in the distance is a bank. That mall over there in the basement has a supermarket. These are all the groceries I bought at the supermarket. This is my room in my hotel. It's not bad, actually. I would consider it a high 3-star. Microwave, fridge, cooking stove, sink, kettle, dishes. It's a little kitchenette. There's my bed. Sorry about the mess, but yeah, it's a king-size bed, and full bathroom, and a view out the window of downtown St. Petersburg. My fridge is some of the groceries I bought today, including 4 cans of Baltica 7 beer, which is my favorite beer. The cost of those groceries you saw that were in the fridge, plus there was my lunch as well that I already ate, and everything included was less than $17 US. This room is costing me $48 US, and that includes a breakfast. Even though they've got a kitchenette, that includes a breakfast. That's how reasonable price things are in Russia. The grocery store, I could show you around. It would just look like an average grocery store where you live in North America. Everything is available, fruits, vegetables, everything. And it's very inexpensive. Russia has a very low cost of living, and therefore it's a very inexpensive place to visit. And yes, I do love Baltica 7 beer. It's my favorite beer. So that's another bonus for me coming to Russia. So let's start our tour of St. Petersburg. We're heading to Spasskaya. Just like in Moscow, all the subway stations in St. Petersburg are beautifully decorated, clean, and completely safe. I started off here, went here, and then now I'm here. Look at this beautiful metro station. A few travel tips about St. Petersburg. Yes, the currency exchange in the city center gives you a much better rate for US dollars than out at the airport. And out at the airport is a far better rate. The St. Petersburg airport, that is a far better rate than the Istanbul airport. And it kind of makes sense as to why that would be. So I actually exchanged my currency 3 different times, one in Istanbul, once at the airport here in St. Petersburg, and also just across the street from my hotel. They gave the best rate there. So that's one. Second thing that you're going to find that is surprising about St. Petersburg, Russia, is it is the most northerly city in the world. This city is further north than Juneau, Alaska, and it is the largest northerly city in the world, and it's larger than Juneau, and it's got over 5 million people. It is the second largest city in all of Russia, and this city has a tremendous history, including recent history during World War II, when it suffered the worst siege of any city in history of the world, 900 days, and a lot of people starved to death because of the siege by the Nazis. And this city has a lot of tremendous history, and you should probably read up on it before you come here so you're aware of it, to be sensitive to the locals. The other thing I will tell you is the customer service here is absolutely excellent. The reception staff at the hotel, they spoke English. They were so helpful. They apologized. They're very European, much more than typically Russian here. They're very friendly. They smile. Even the cashiers of the supermarket will smile and laugh. They have a very European style to them, which is unlike Moscow. Now, I don't want to go into a tirade about the Ukraine-Russia situation, and I really, this is a travel channel, but the one thing I can advise you is that you should understand that this country and this city has a very different perception of the war in Ukraine than our North American media tells us. And they support their leader, Vladimir Putin. They support their government, and they believe that they're defending themselves. And this is something you should know if you ever decide to come here, because you don't want to really upset these people, because, yeah, I don't think they're gonna be violent with you or anything, but it's a turn off to them that, you know, we as Westerners are ignorant. So you need to read up on it. You need to read up on the history of Ukraine and Russia before you come here. And if you do that, like I have, you can open up a conversation with any of the people, and they'll just open up their hearts to you, and they'll serve you very well. So getting a background knowledge of the Ukraine-Russia situation will serve you well once you come here, and it will help you to get better customer service, a lot more smiles from the people, and they are very warm people, which is surprising to many people, but they are very, very, very warm and very hospitable here, and that's what I found. And very similar to Moscow in that if you just are nice to Russians, they just open themselves up to you. That building is the State Hermitage Museum, I believe, and also the Winter Palace. Look at this panorama view. That's the river. That is the Winter Palace. That is the Neva River. St. Petersburg was established where the Neva River meets the Baltic Sea. You've seen my videos from Helsinki and Tallinn, which are not far from here. They're actually quite close in distance, in kilometers. But unfortunately, you cannot get here from there because of our sanctions that we've imposed. So another fact, you cannot come here from Helsinki, Finland, or Tallinn, Estonia. And as I mentioned before, although those two cities are right, you know, just hundreds of kilometers away, a couple of 100 kilometers away, and they're neighboring cities, and you've seen videos from there on my channel. You cannot cross the border, and that's not the Russians' choice, that's the European Union's choice because of sanctions. So and also I mentioned before that your credit card doesn't work and here, and that's not the Russians' choice, it's our government's choice, that they have basically not allowed MasterCard or Visa or any of our credit cards to work here. If you have a Chinese credit card from a Chinese bank, it'll work here, but sanctions. So the only way to come here is via Istanbul, as I did, on Turkish Airlines, as I did. And if you're not familiar with Turkish Airlines, I can tell you I highly recommend that airlines. It's really top-notch, and I don't think they'll disappoint you. So that's the good news. Getting here from Istanbul, the airline is excellent, and Istanbul's a cool place as well. But that's about the only way as a Westerner you can come here. And again, your credit card will not work here, so you're gonna have to operate with cash. The other thing you can do is buy a debit card at a bank called Sberbank, and SBER Bank, and they'll provide Westerners with a debit card as long as you give them a passport, and you can use that for contactless payment. I didn't this trip. I know I could have, but what I did was I just got a transit card so I can use it on the metro, the buses, and I just that's how I'm operating here, because all the turnstiles in the subway and the buses and so on, they take contactless payment. Tomorrow I'm going to venture out to Peterhof, which is a very famous palace here, and I'll share with you my journey as to how I do it. It'll be an adventure for me. You'll find this surprising. City sightseeing bus, and everything on the bus is written in English. And as you can tell, they show that they take Visa or MasterCard, but of course they don't take from Westerners. Now, I'm like many Americans and Canadians, the only language I speak is English and a little bit of French. Very little bit of French. But yeah, here in Russia, all I know is Spasibo and Pajalsta. That's all I know. And I've been able to get around using that, and really haven't had a problem just using some hand gestures and sign language and smiling. And you know, verbal language is overrated when you travel to a country like Russia. So if you do decide to come here and you only speak English like me, you won't really have a problem. A lot of the people in customer service, the tourism industry, all speak English here. And all the signs, as you've seen from my video, are in English. So you're not gonna have a problem. So this massive building is the Winter Palace. It's a very scenic walk along the Neva River. A plus of walking here in St. Petersburg is the cars will actually stop at a pedestrian crosswalk. Unlike in Istanbul, they actually stop here and they let you cross. Apparently there's about 500 canals in this city, which really surprised me. There are 4 major canals, then the Neckar River and all these other canals, and I've just been showing you a bit of those in my last few shots. This building is like so many others, just gorgeous sculptures and structure, gorgeous architecture. So that is the State Hermitage Museum. And this is Palace Square. I'm going to show you a little bit more of it. So this is Palace Square, and that is the State Hermitage Museum building, which looks a lot like the Winter Palace. I guess they're setting up for a big concert in front of the Hermitage Museum. Well, this is definitely the biggest square I've ever been to in Europe, I can tell you that. And the Hermitage Museum is the largest museum in the world. And that's not according to Wikipedia, that's according to the Louvre. And if you remember my videos from Paris, France, when I went to the Louvre, I did a tour of the Louvre, an official tour. And the first thing the guide said was that welcome to the Louvre, the second largest museum in the world. The largest being the Hermitage in St. Petersburg, Russia. This is the famous Nevsky Prospect, or Nevsky Avenue. Another thing that'll surprise you about St. Petersburg is as you're walking around, you'll notice that the people are all different ethnicities and all different skin colors. Our perception of Russia is not that at all. It's quite a cosmopolitan city. Very law and order city. You know, there's very little crime here, even though there's over 6 million people. I haven't seen a homeless person here yet. I'm just walking to my subway to get back to my hotel. There's so many beautiful buildings that I'm passing. Yes, I'm doing a selfie. I was here, and so were you. There is just too much to see in St. Petersburg just for one day. I hope you enjoyed my intro video of St. Petersburg, Russia today. Please stay tuned for more of my travel videos, and thank you for watching. Please subscribe, post a like, and hit the notification bell for future videos.